Miss Emma's. Okay. So let me tell him about Miss Emma's.
I listen to Debatable Decisions.
We listen to Debatable Decisions.
This is Half the Hustler, and you're now rocking with Debatable Decisions.
I listen to Debatable Decisions.
I get that bad, they gon' hate on me. They get that bad, they gon' change on me. Curry with the team, they gon' trade on me. Curry in the wing, they gon' fade on me.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Corey Scales. To the right of me is AC the Mayor.
To my far left is the homie Rodell Hunter.
And this is Debatable Decisions. What up, sir?
We back.
We always gonna get
I know,
back,
we
baby.
always back.
Yeah, we
You know,
always
it's like,
gonna
I
get
said
back,
that because
baby.
I feel like every time we hit the arena, it's like MJ 4 or 5 and transition back to 23. You feel me? That's why I always say that. Just got to throw that in there real quick.
I hate when people always gotta recite rap lyrics to get their point across.
That was a rap lyric? Wait. What bar did I just quote? Please, I can't wait to hear
It
this one.
sound like a rap lyric.
Oh, it's okay. That's
Yeah,
better.
it's like kind of cliche.
Okay.
What up, though?
I'm coolin', man. How you?
I can't complain. Somebody's missing.
Yeah, you know, principal duties, man.
We love her.
Facts.
We miss her.
She's here.
But she's still missing, B. So if you can represent her right now with her not being here, I should be able to get my dinner.
So, all right, this guy keeps talking about this dinner that
My dinner.
the two of them discussed,
Mhm.
and I'm all for it, but I need her to be there.
Why?
So we can
Well,
partake.
I'm hungry now.
But I need you to stay humble.
Shout out to Humble and Hungry, our sponsors. Lil Ave, he should have been here to drop off some gifts, but I'm praying he comes soon.
Facts.
Yeah, but my dinner, B.
It's coming.
It has been 2 months.
It's just be thankful, man. This is the season of
Giving.
giving and receiving, and you just before that season, he was just always trying to give or receive. Excuse me. It's coming, B.
Wait
It's
a minute.
coming.
I always try to receive.
When it comes to this dinner, he pulled this dinner trick out of like nowhere.
How was it a trick? I asked for dinner. Where's the
Because
trick?
there's a backstory that we're not going to get into for the 15th time.
What's going on, sir?
I'm cooling, bro.
I'm glad to have him in the building. This is a vibe right here.
Yeah,
Definitely a
It
vibe.
is.
Definitely a vibe.
it is. It's funny how we met. We were working down there Unified together.
Okay.
You know, catch a vibe. What up? All right, peace. Yeah. And then we found out we had a really close mutual friend that both of us love. So that, you know, opened the door for more good conversation. You know, definitely. What's up, man?
I'm great, man. I can't complain.
And he the same way every day.
Super calm.
I ain't never seen him switch up. That's what I
Word.
kind of like about
That's
him.
real. That's
Same
super.
every
But
day.
you know what? Never mind. I'll pocket that.
Yeah. What's up, though?
Yeah, man, just happy to be alive, happy to be here, striving, making it. Made it as far as I made it.
Facts.
Birthday just passed.
Okay.
Blessed,
Well,
blessed
Clap
to
up
see
for the
that.
birthday, boy.
Okay.
Clap up
Facts,
for the
facts.
birthday,
Okay.
boy. All
Blessed
right.
to see 42,
Nice.
Didn't think I would make it, but I did.
Facts. God is good.
Overcame the odds, right?
Word. That's what's up.
42. That's
Jackie Robinson.
yeah, no question.
There you go.
James Worthy,
Okay.
Jerry Stackhouse. Where you want to go?
Yeah,
I said what I said.
But 42. I'm 45, so I remember 42. Like yourself, I definitely didn't think. Well, I can't even say I didn't think I was gonna make it here. I just didn't see that. I couldn't see that far. You understand what I'm saying? So it wasn't like I was into shit that I'm like, man, fuck it. I'm gonna die or I'm gonna be locked up. I never thought I'd go to jail, but I definitely didn't see past my nose when I was younger. You feel me? So I couldn't plan or envision anything. I just knew to go hard. So everything that I was doing that day, I went hard at it. So, but yeah. Happy birthday. Congratulations, all that good stuff.
Did you do anything monumental?
Nah, not
Anything
really.
special?
Yeah, I kind of put my birthday on the back burner for everybody else.
Okay.
People was coming home, and I know they was gonna need me. I was in that situation, So I'm like, I ain't gonna leave you stranded. My birthday, that's another day to me.
I
You
can,
know,
I can
like,
dig it.
I was more appreciative to kind of celebrate it with people I care about. That meant more to me than anything. You know,
Got you.
I can always celebrate another day.
Right. So you know what that means, right? Birthday dinner on Corey's scale.
Oh, that would be
And I'll
nice.
be there. Crickets.
See the way my bank account is set up.
We ain't say the night. We just put it out.
But
there.
wait, hold on. Why do you have to be there?
I mean, because see what you
No.
didn't realize.
No. Why do you have to?
I'm
be
trying to
He was
answer
the
your question.
negotiator.
Because that's why not?
Got you. He's supposed to be my team.
He does.
You know what I mean? All that because I want my dinner.
You're going to get it. You're going to get
That
it.
I was promised. Sell me out.
From Cutie Pie. But it's all good. It's all good.
Cutie Pie is actually our third host,
Okay.
but she's missing in action right now. We're gonna put out a wanted poster.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, man.
This guy.
Word up. What's wrong? I shouldn't have
Me?
said that.
No, you got
Oh,
money.
right.
You good?
Where you from, good brother?
Well, I'm from Harrisburg, mostly out the south of Hill. You know what I mean? But I be everywhere, man.
Your whole life?
Yeah.
Born in Harrisburg Hospital?
Born in Harrisburg Hospital, yeah.
Okay. What year were you born? 42?
79.
79?
I'm there in the 79, so I made the 70s. So I relate to the 80s, baby.
I was about to say, which one do you relate to? You feel me? But I get it.
That's the end. I'm an 80s baby.
Got you.
It is what it is.
Got you.
The funny thing is, I kind of, I got the best of both worlds from 76. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember that energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember not everything about it because I was a kid, but
No, cause
I remember that energy.
From what you see, if you see the history, this seemed like the dynamic change. 79, boom, 80 was here. The whole dynamic changed.
Because of the politics,
Yeah.
because of the things that went on. The 70s was that last, again, I want to remind everyone the things that come out of my mouth is not a direct reflection on our sponsors or anyone else at this table. Me, I'm the one. If I say it, because, but I feel like the politics changed and corporate America kind of start investing into, that wasn't even the 70s. That was like 60s when they start investing in a bunch of the programs and stuff like that. And then the 70s was more or less rebellious nature. And that's funny. That's how I look at it. The 70s was still a little rebellious. We're going to live life on our terms. Right. Whether it's smoking weed all day, tripping, taking acid, free-spirited. And what do you think the energy was of the children that was produced at that time?
At that time, man, I would say for the 80s, we was more. It wasn't about a thug thing. I think they had a little bit more of a cause, more of a come together type situation. Like it was trying to, especially with the hip hop era, you know what I mean? Like they was trying to find themselves, and they found themselves through that music, and that's what really like changed the dynamic to me. You know what I mean? Like that's what it seemed like. And I wasn't really born like.
You feel like the music changed the
dynamic? Without a question. If you think about it, like people start finding themselves. They start realizing who they were. They start finding themselves through music. It was a different. Like I said, it was a different. The dynamic changed. A lot of it, like even me when I got older, I was listening to a lot of Poor Righteous Teachers and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I really didn't know what they was talking about until I got older, and then I go back and listen to it. I'm like, they was teaching us knowledge of self back then. All of them was on that. And I'm like, okay, now I understand the culture then.
Right.
Okay, but New York, Harrisburg, they two different dynamics. They was up on it way before.
Right.
They from Jersey, actually.
They from Jersey, yeah, but they are. I found that out. Yeah, but that that dynamic. They had that knowledge of self way back then, and we was just listening. To
where
music.
that came from?
5%
Nation, knowledge of self.
Yeah,
where it come from?
Where from? You mean
Where it
who
start?
specifically?
Yeah.
Or where it came from? I can't tell you who specifically.
Clarence X, he was one of the original, I'm not going to say original, but he was basically, I believe he like trained with Malcolm, and like he was one of Elijah's followers, Clarence 13X. And he left the mosque, left the nation, and took
that's how it came.
the wisdom with him.
Okay.
And came back to his community, the same folks that the nation was fishing for, he started fishing for. Rumor has it, and this is not to put any type of slander on his name, but you know, they were just too far into the streets that kind of and
Well, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
So the tactics, the
yeah,
way
yeah,
they
no,
moved,
I can see that. I
you know
can
what I
see
mean?
that.
It was
from the Nation
militant,
of
but just a
Islam
little
to the the 5% nation. It's
Yeah.
a whole different. Even though they share some of the same concepts and
a lot of the same.
yeah, they
Like the same
dynamics
foundation.
Yeah, to where
Yeah.
knowing
Yeah.
who you are, knowledge itself.
No, yeah.
It's just I think it's more so the discipline area and so.
I got introduced that through my aunt. Her children's father was a 5%er. I used to make fun of him because he was stocky and had a soft voice like Mike Tyson. I used to just clown him all day long. That was like the funniest thing to me. But it's funny. I learned at the same time of learning what that was about, I was also being introduced to Buddhism because my mother had a boyfriend that was a Buddhist. So it was Nam Myoho Renge Kyo in this corner, and then, the mathematics in this corner. And one thing that I realized is they were both pretty much saying the same thing as far as
without a doubt.
even Christianity, they all say their God and their way is the way. And they were all saying the same thing. Their God and their way is the way, the only way.
All of them, yeah,
right?
Tree of life and Judaism, all of them come together.
So to me, it didn't make sense. Then a couple of years later, I learned what a religion was. It's just a piece of paper. So it's a corporation. You can incorporate your theory, put it down, write a thesis, and start pushing your own religion. So if it's that easy to get one, you got to be careful who you trust. That's how I started looking at it.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And then when I realized everybody wanted the same things and was ultimately trying to do it, I just realized religion was really just separating us.
Yeah. Well, even the word of religion is, if you go back to where it derives from, it's a Latin, two words that derives from Latin, which is re and legion.
Okay.
Re means again, and legion means to unite.
Okay.
And as you put them two, you come up with religion. You put them two words together, and all it is like I guess it's from my understanding of it is want you to reunite to back what you lost, which is knowing yourself, knowing who you are, knowing what your spirituality is.
Okay.
That's how you bring about religion. But if
but you can have spirit. All right, let me ask you a question.
Here we go.
Can you have spirituality without having a religion?
Oh yes, indeed you can.
Okay.
Without a
We're on the
doubt,
same page on that one.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Religion sometimes is just a way of life.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's religion is wrong. It's just your religion. You have this belief. They have this belief, and they.
So
all
why do
have
they
this
fight?
belief. Why do they fight?
Yeah.
Because they feel like this
I
one
got
is
a
saying the
great
wrong
question
thing.
for you.
This one is saying the wrong thing. This one is saying the wrong thing from lack of interpretation. Like if you really sit down and read them, they all saying the same exact thing. Just they interpret they word
So
it
it's like
differently.
whose ego?
Yeah, but they worded the egos that. But if you read something, your
Similar to
interpretation is gonna be different from when I read it. You know what I mean? Yeah, your perspective is gonna be different.
My view of you. I was listening to Alicia Keys on Drink Champs. Shout out to
Greatest to
Nori.
ever do it.
Shout out to Nori. He's the greatest to ever do it. I was listening to Alicia Keys on Drink Champs, and she said the night that Little Mo jumped on the stage with her and Jay, she never saw her.
Nah, not Little Mo.
I mean, not Little Mo. I'm saying Little Mama.
Mama, yeah.
I apologize. She never saw her, and she was literally standing a couple feet away.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
only
yeah.
thing that was separating them was her and Jay.
Jay.
So that monumental moment, she wasn't even aware of what was going on, and she was right there. So it was her perspective was everything was cool. Jay went backstage and was like, "Yo, did you see that?" She was like, "No." You know what I'm saying? So she didn't have a problem with it. But how I look at you and how I see you right now is completely different than how he sees you.
Right.
So I look at religion the same way. I look at
Without a doubt.
the key players in each story the same way.
I like the way you break it down, though. Like, we talked about it in the past, not to go off track, but
No, you fine.
with the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and I think that's more into the Catholic Christianity
Realm.
compared to
Yeah.
all the other things. And with the way you break that down, it I can see like
If you read every book pushes the woman to the side, right? So, and that's every book. The woman, push her to the side, take away that power. You upset. You should be and are subservient to man, right? They say the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Think about that. How does that make sense?
Right.
And this is no disrespect intended to anyone or any way of life. But how can you have a father and a son, and then the next thing you speak about is a spirit, a Holy Spirit, which when you think about it, it's nothing. It's not. It's if you didn't know what they were truly saying, you would assume, you know what I'm saying, it's not nothing real. But it's another element there that they subtract for.
Right.
I understand why they do it, because it's the most powerful element.
Right.
So you got to take the power away from if you're insecure, you understand what I'm saying? If you don't understand who you are and uncomfortable with who you are, meaning the man,
Right.
you're going to take the power away from that other element because it's the woman. Can't have a father without her. Can't have a son without her. Think about the words. Father. How can I be a father without a woman? A mother. How can I have a son without a mother? So then they pump she's a part of, she was made from our rib. Hell no. Because the only way I can have a rib is if I had a mother. You dig me? So it's like when they teach them. But I want to ask you a question, because you said you believe in, you're a spiritual person. It's funny where our conversation went, right? If you put Jesus, or what we know of as Jesus, Yahweh, you put Muhammad, you put Buddha. I'm not sure if I'm using the correct name, but Buddha, in the same room together, what would happen?
I guess something you can't like something that you really can't speak on, because you know it's other aspects of religion. They all feel like some of these entities are the same person.
okay, so
All right,
right. I got you.
That's not. But we speaking about theories and concepts. So the conception of who Jesus is, the concept of who Buddha is, the concept of who Muhammad is. If you put them in all their values and their truths, you put them in the same room together, what do you feel is going to happen?
You got me on that. That's something that I couldn't even.
You can't speak on.
I can't.
Understood.
Like,
that's fair.
you can't speak on what you don't know.
Understood. But I think in some ways, I feel like I'm blessed with wisdom,
Right.
knowledge, and understanding. And
So he
that
has an
a lot
answer.
of that comes with time. But from what I know about, or what I've read about each individual,
Right.
and what I've been taught about each individual, it would be peace. One will probably be cooking. The other one will be washing the other one's feet. One will be setting the table. One taking out the trash. It would be love. It would
Based on
be
the characteristics.
all moving in unison in
Oh,
everything
that's
they doing. And if they would move like that, why shouldn't we? We war over religion. We war because you don't think just like me.
I mean, I have a theory with that. I think that comes from just lack of really having an understanding of what spirituality means.
Okay.
What spirituality really means. Y'all so
Okay.
focused on religion that y'all missing the spiritual part of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Speak on it.
every book teaches you to look within yourself.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All of them teaches the same thing. Look within yourself, discipline yourself. All of them teach peace. They all have the same teaching.
But then
So
you have extremists that's
Not
going to
lack
take.
of understanding of spirituality and what it really means.
They're more fans or lovers of the religion
Than they are
than the spirit.
without a doubt.
Super
So-
voters.
So they're going to they take everything, every word, and interpret it for what they want to interpret it. Their interpretation to me. But we also have those same type of extremist mindsets in our hood.
Right. Yeah, without a doubt. Well, another aspect of that is this too. When you're not given all the information, you can never really truly know everything. Like a lot of them books don't give you all the information.
It's missing elements.
That's when
Right.
you use this. But when in using this, you got to open this. So in order to understand, you got to have love. I'm saying as far as in spirituality, in order to understand, you have to have love because you got to be able to relate. But I made a point a second ago that I want you to come back to a little bit. In our neighborhoods, we have that extremist mentality
without a
too.
doubt.
So I just spoke about the religious aspect of you have a Christian that want to kill a Muslim or don't respect the Buddhist because it's different.
Right.
We got our kids doing the same thing because of the different neighborhoods they live
Without
in.
a doubt. Without a doubt. Willing to die for them neighborhoods.
You was involved in that at one time.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, you think
Why?
that because when you're not taught how to really do it right, you're gonna do it wrong.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
Like
Unless you
you
get
taught
lucky.
that, this is our hood. You know, we posted. We don't let nobody come through and do this. We don't let nobody do that. We don't let none of the, and you live, you breathe, you feed off of that. You feed off of that energy, even though it's negative, positive and negative. You feed off of that negative energy.
I'm sorry.
What?
You had said something about you protect your hood. You don't let nobody come and disrespect it. And when you said that, I thought you meant like not so much one side of the city compared to the other side, but someone that's really like coming through disrespecting. That's the piece I thought, for me, that isn't taught. Like all these, like this entire city is ours. We need to protect this entire city because there's another agenda out there when it comes to infiltrators really coming through, and it's not necessarily your cousin that you don't even know that's your cousin because whatever the case, or someone I grew up with that's that's my son, that's your daughter. So speaking on that, I think that's where we really got to get back to. Continue to push.
Oh, without
You
a
know what I'm
doubt.
saying? Continue to push. But go back to what you were saying. My bad.
No, it's one of them things. If you're not taught to do better, you're not going to do better. And so many dudes, they push the wrong agenda out there. You know what I mean? Like, all right, granted, you can't really change a child. If a child is intrigued by certain things, it's hard to deter them from that.
That's
If
real.
that's what they're intrigued by, that's what they're interested in, it's hard to deter them from that. So you have to find a way to be a greater influence than the things that they are intrigued by.
Right.
That's hard to do, especially when this is more fascinating than what you got going on.
Right.
If that's more fascinating than what you got going on, why would I be influenced by you? I like what he's doing over here. This is exciting. This is this is an adrenaline rush. This is touching my dopamines in my brain, and it got me excited and hyped. It's almost like the same person that take a hit or something.
Right.
it's a rush.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Why would I come over here with you? I don't get nothing no excitement from over here, but you trying to show me to do it the right way. You know what I mean?
It looks corny.
It's corny because most
Well,
money
it's
is the biggest
perceived.
motivator.
No, that's what I'm saying. It
It's
looks corny.
perceived
Yeah.
to be corny because of what we was programmed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you was born in Harrisburg? What part of the city did you live in? Like honestly, what did you rep? Where you from? So when you was going through these wars, what was you repping?
Well, first and foremost, I ain't go through no wars.
Well,
no, because
Let's
all
say
right,
you
let me
lived it
break
out
it
there.
down to you.
Right,
No,
right,
I
right.
didn't do it because it didn't make sense to me. Even though I had a lot of people around me that was going through the hill, uptown, south. Like I was born out the south. You know what I mean? I raised a little up the south. Then I moved on the hill, lived on the hill.
Okay.
But I've been on Elm Street. I've been in the parks. I lived on Hummel. I lived everywhere on the hill. Only place I didn't live was uptown. But you know, even with me not living uptown,
Don't mean we ain't go
I
through
used to
it.
be
Right.
uptown. I got dudes that would be like, "Yo, you used to be up here when you was a kid." You're right, because
Yeah.
I don't bound myself to like I'm not into like why I got a problem with you.
Right.
We go to the boys club together. We
Right,
play,
right.
Like why am I going all of a sudden? If we was
Right.
friends when we was kids, why are we gonna stop being friends as we get older, as we teenagers?
so if you wasn't involved or if that didn't pique your interest at the time, what did? Like what led you to the jail time, the things going on in the street? Where was
I was about my paper.
where was mom and dad? Where was mom?
Well, you
and
know, my
pops?
mom, she was, I was raised by my grandma. My dad was doing his own time. You know, he was doing his thing back in the day. You know,
Gotcha.
he was around. I was around. I used to peep stuff, but I wasn't around enough to really to know too much of what was going on. Then he went and did his fed bid. My mom, you know, she got high, so it wasn't really, she was there. I lived with my mom all my life.
Okay.
But she was more like my sister.
You was raised by
Because she had me when she was young.
Gotcha.
Younger,
How old
you
was
know,
she?
14.
Ooh.
Okay.
So
was
she
a
was more
baby.
like my sister.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Then, you know.
She's still alive now?
Oh, no, she passed away.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, facts.
When as you got older, I'm sure she cleaned her life up.
No, she went all the way. Like, no matter what, she loved that. That was her thing. Now, I'm not saying she wasn't out there bad, but she liked, that's
Did
how,
that-
you know.
Did that brother-sister relationship, instead of the mother-son, did that dynamic ever change?
Never changed.
Never changed.
It never changed. I know she was my mother. I know she
Right.
loved me. Even in her addiction, she made sure I was straight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why you can't make somebody stop at something they don't want to stop. No matter how much love you give them, no matter how much rehab you get them, no matter how many counselors they talk to, if they ain't ready to quit, they ain't ready to quit.
It gotta be with something within them.
That got to be within them.
Okay. So, Mom Deuce getting high. Pop Deuce in the streets did his time. When did you decide, I'm going to play with these streets a little bit?
Well, one of the reasons why, unfortunately me, I'm like my son King, my son bad. I was like that.
Got you.
And
okay.
it forced my grandmother to quit her job because she had to be home taking care of me.
Understood.
So with that, times get hard when you ain't working and this, that, and the third. So, me, I was a little bit more older than I was. So I got out there at an early age. All the older guys kind of took a liking to me because I have the same personality then that I have now.
Okay.
I never
so you was
changed.
before your time.
Pretty much.
Yeah, you was before your
like,
time.
I was like, people be surprised sometimes, and I was, this later on in life, they be like, I'll be like, yeah, bro, I'm only 18. They be like, what?
Mm-hmm.
You only 18, bro. You was out there when you was 11, 12.
Right.
I never would have thought of that.
Right.
I never would have known that. It's like, yeah, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's one of the things is like I had to fend for myself after a while. Like I know I was putting a burden on my grandma. So,
So what, you started hustling?
I picked that back up. Never look back.
That's all you used to do, just hustle?
Just hustle.
You didn't play with the pistols?
No, not until I got older.
Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't really like back in the day, it wasn't as bad as it is as we got older. Like, I started it was a little gunplay back in the 90s, but not like it. Like, I'm going to say later on, like 97, 96, 90, That's when it really started getting crazy. But 93, 94 was a little bit of gunplay, but not like that you needed to have one all the time. You know what I mean?
I left here in 93 and moved back to New York. So I went to William Penn, 9th, 10th. I went to middle school all 3 years. Then went to William Penn, 9th, 10th, and 11th grade.
But you went to Penn, and Penn was a high school?
William Penn was the high school. So I went to William Penn, 9th grade, 10th grade, and the beginning of my 11th grade. Then I went to Dauphin County Voltech. So in middle school, Jeffrey Castile passed away. He got shot in his chest. In high school, I think it was somebody else that had got shot. I don't know if he died or not, but that's the only time we heard of that.
Yeah, they
at
fought.
That time.
They fought back in the day. Like
Yeah,
it was more.
Fights was crazy.
Let me put it like that.
But
Like,
hold on. When I called home in like 96, 95, my mother would always have a story. Now, mind you, I'm in Brooklyn. You understand what I'm saying? So I didn't go someplace to where, like, I'm in Brooklyn and I turned into something different when I went back to New York in my late teens. Life hit me differently and I had to make certain decisions. But I was never expecting to call home and hear that it's going crazy in Harrisburg.
Like 09, that was a crazy
year.
No,
I'm not comparing. I'm just like,
no, I got you.
Like
but
09.
94, 5, 6. I'm talking about my mother would always, such and such. And she used to work at the King Building on 5th Street. So she knew a lot of the dudes when they was little kids. So that's how she knew them. You understand what I'm saying? And then when they got of age, it's like, Corey, such and such got shot, such and such died, got killed. And I'm sitting there like, hold on. So it kind of was like the Lord always moves me to save me. Because I would think that it would be crazy in New York at the time, but that's actually it was kind of calming down in a way in New York, and then it heated up in Harrisburg where I just left. So it was crazy.
Yeah.
What hustling? Pick up the pack, making some good money?
I was doing good, as a young boy. I was doing
What's
for a
good?
young boy, I was doing real good.
What you doing a day as a young boy?
Yeah, I was at my age.
How much?
14.
How much you doing a day as a young boy?
And I would
What's doing good?
Well, see, back then I was picking up zips of like 2-3 zips a day, just breaking them all down, all 20s.
All 20s?
Smacking them. Yeah.
So you pulling in what? 2,000 a day
More
profit?
than that, man, you talking about 3,000 off of an ounce that I only paid like 800 for.
Oh, you damn near getting $100 a gram.
Yeah, pretty more than that. More than that.
Lord, yeah,
Like, it was
on who you
different
selling
back
it to.
then. You
I
know
got
what I
you.
mean? Like it was the dynamic.
So what you
was
doing with that
different.
bread?
What up?
3
Spending
shit.
it.
On what? You kidding? 3?
Clothes, taking care. We'll give my grandma money.
Okay.
Give my grandma money. Buying, shopping.
Okay.
So doing a young boy.
Yeah, just young
besides
boy
taking
stuff,
care
buying
of
chains,
mom, grandma.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
So from 11, you picked up the pack?
yeah, that was weed. That was just weed. It wasn't. I ain't start. It was all weed up until till 93. 1993, 92, 91. I was messing with. I was dealing with the weed. 93, when I got my first pack of crack, and I messed that pack up. I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I kept messing up money and everything. And not only on top of that, I got introduced to that snorting in 93 too.
So you start sniffing coke?
Yeah, 13, I was snorting, man. Yeah. Snorting just so I could stay up all night.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Stay up and try to make money.
Right. That
I mean,
adrenaline rush.
Yeah, still messing the money up because I just messed it up. Like,
Start hustling at 11. When does the first bid come?
my first bid. Well,
First time you get in.
my first time was when I was 13.
Okay.
13, yeah.
Sniffing coke,
Yeah, snort coke,
Slipping.
and a fiend float.
slipping,
Yeah,
making drugged out decisions.
yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much in a fiend float luncheon. They got me and my homies.
Caught up.
What they get you with?
They only gave me 3 months.
No, what they get you with?
Oh,
Just driving the car?
Driving the
no work, no
stove.
nothing.
Got rid of all that.
So 3 months. Now
Yeah.
what? Come home, do the same shit.
I came home, do the same thing.
you're
I ain't
invincible.
last long. Like from 1993, man, I'm gonna tell you, I probably went back and forth so much. I ain't lasted no longer than 6 months on the street.
From 93 till when?
93 all the way up until the age of 20.
So
And
now
then
we,
only then, I went from the juvenile, got
that's
certified.
99.
Like all 6 months was the longest I'll be out. 6 months going to run, come back 6 months going to run. 6 months, the whole time all I'm doing is slanging and banging. You know what I mean?
Got you.
Okay, so 99, you said till you was 20, so 99 you quit?
No, 99. I did my first state bid. They sent me to Dallas. I got certified.
What was that for?
That
was
was
that
for a
for?
robbery.
So you started
Yeah.
out hustling.
1997. All right, I went upstate.
Hold on. Started out weed, 11. 13, you catch a little shit ass, punk ass 3 months. Sniffing coke now, right? Selling crack. How did you get to the robbing?
Well, hanging with a certain individual, being with him. I mean, I used to snort with him, be with him all day, and he would take me on licks with him.
Okay.
So I was running around with him, doing licks and all that, whatever the case may be, and it just happened, and I finally caught my first bid off of a robbery. You know what I mean?
Somebody told on you or they caught you?
Yeah, somebody told on me. You know what I mean? They really didn't even want to do it at that point because I'm like, man, I know how to get money, but you know what? Since
Influences.
since I'm cool with y'all. All right, what y'all want to do? How y'all want to do this?
Loyal.
Okay.
Being loyal.
Being loyal.
Okay.
Being
to the wrong
loyal.
things.
Huh?
To the wrong things and the wrong
Yeah.
people. Okay.
So it went down, whatever. I ended up being the only one that get caught, whatever the case may be. The bull came to court on me, did all that.
Okay.
I could have beat it because he was going to drop the charge. He was going to not show up to my court hearing, but the other co-defendant told on both of me and my other homie.
Quick question. Was there ever a point where you was like, what am I doing this for?
Hold on. I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
Brick.
Because
No,
I
got you.
great minds think alike. Because I'm trying to show the
process.
The gradual change.
But I meant that question was more as though why you were still in the mix.
That's
not like the.
That's actually where I was going next.
Got you.
Actually, because you just said someone was basically influencing you. I mess with this person. This is what they doing. So if this is what they doing, I'm riding with them. It's loyalty. That's not a common trait. It's actually like a superpower to be a loyal person because it's so it's rare. But it had to be somewhere within that, making $3,000-$4,000 a day as a youngin'. Somewhere it had to be that. Hold on, one, this doesn't feel right, or two, maybe I shouldn't be doing this,
Right.
or maybe not. Was there ever a moment to where it was like, yo, you know what, I need to do something else?
Nah, not in them days, man. That didn't come to years later, man. Like,
So at the time, you didn't think you was doing anything wrong?
I mean, no, you don't. You don't know no better. Like, you feel like you're doing whatever you got to do to survive.
Okay.
Like,
Self-preservation.
pretty much.
Gotcha. I asked that because, again, we're here at Debatable Decisions. And what we try to do is, if not teach or show, help people learn how to make good decisions. Because it's not something that's easy to some of us.
Right.
I always got stories. I tell him, I done made a lot of dumb ass decisions.
Facts.
If you knew, I was telling somebody not too long ago, in my newly turned 20s, late teens, I had so many blessings around me that I thought they were common. And I thought they would always be there. And I didn't know what they were because they were so common.
Right.
So you have some people that, now mind you, it wasn't riches.
Right.
So that's why I didn't know what they looked like. Because I thought the only blessings you can get coming from what I came from was riches.
Right,
It's going to fall out the sky.
Right.
But the blessings, it was, I didn't know the color they was going to come in. I didn't know the shape. I didn't know the energy, any of that. So I would continuously just let them joints just sit there and sit dormant to where they turn to dust. Or I'll fuck them over. Or I use a blessing as an ashtray. Figure that out.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
I use a blessing to dump my blunt guts in. Something that can totally change my life, change my next 3-4 generations of mine's lives. I'm dumping blunt guts and weed seeds on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand when you say, hey, I didn't feel like I was doing anything wrong. Because at those times, I didn't understand what the hell was going on. 99.9% of those blessings that were just sitting around me, I am actively now chasing them.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Actively. Like, damn, you was my homie. What happened? I didn't nurture that relationship.
Right.
So now 20 years later, that relationship is sat dormant for so long that you decided, yo, I'm just wasting time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
if I see you, hey, homie, how you
up?
doing?
Yeah, keep
but
moving.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
So it in what you was going through, it's crazy that you had to start your life that way. Very crazy. It's crazy at 11, 13. At 11, someone would even allow you to sell drugs, or 13, introduce you to coke. Like, that person need a bullet in the head.
Yeah.
The person who introduced you to coke at 13 years old. I'm just being honest with you. You was a child.
I agree with you on that. Like,
you was a child.
He took your innocence away. Or he or she. Or
they didn't give you a chance to be great.
No, they didn't. That's why I said that on Facebook one time when I sat and thought about it, man. I was raised by all the wrong people growing up. Like, I was.
Hurt people. Right? It's the truth.
Right.
You feel me? They probably thought they was doing something cool. Or then again, they
might
have known what they were doing.
I know they knew what they
I see his
doing.
traits. I see he's a loyal, cool, laid back. Let me get him dependent.
He'll
on
do
me.
anything. Yeah, you know they think that. He'll do anything.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, they think that. Oh, he's with anything. I know he is, and they take advantage of that. That's why I put that's another post I fit. A lot of my posts be reflective of when I sit back and reflect on my life and be like, wow, man, because now I have the knowledge of what was being done to me, and I put that post up like, yo, be careful who your kids be around. Monitor who your children are around, because I'm telling you, a lot of times they don't mean them no good.
Question for you. What is your experience like being a father, going through all your life experiences and now having the opportunity to pour into your children?
It's hard because I don't, like, for me, I wish, like, I'm not around in a way. I wanted to be involved. And like when I try to tell my child's mother what I mean by being involved, like, yo, I really want to be involved. Like, I don't want to just be the financial father.
You want to show up.
Yeah, I don't want to be the financial father. You know what I mean? I really want to be involved.
Right.
Like, you're not understanding that. Like, I want to mold him and teach him a lot of things. The knowledge that I have right now, he'll be a beast by the time he get my age.
Right.
He'll be a beast.
That's our job, to make the next generation better than our generation. Yeah, definitely.
He'll be a beast, man. If she let me mold him the way he should be molded, by the time he reach my age, he'll be.
Well, he gonna be a beast when he gets your age.
Like I'm working on it. Like, he's starting.
Exactly.
It's starting to come around. So I'm like, okay, cool. It's starting to get better for him,
right?
As well as me.
How old is
you know
he?
what I mean? How old is he? 11.
11 years old. So it's the perfect situation. 11-11. You know what I mean? Kyrie Irving.
Oh, without a doubt.
So you know what he's thinking about and what he's going through.
Oh, without a doubt.
So you know, I tell wifey. Having this last child is different than my first couple of experiences, not only because of the foundation and the structure is a little stronger, it's just I'm older and wiser. So when I was younger, being a father, it was more of this. Don't do this. Sit down. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of love, but when it was time to discipline, I thought discipline was then through reading Proverbs, through learning my life experiences, I don't have to get upset to discipline.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I can't tell this little me what to do because I don't want to be told what to do.
Right.
But if I put 3 or 4 options in front of her and allow them to feel like, well, I can at least make a decision of which one I want, but them not knowing, especially at a young age, I control all 3 of those options, and that's not me trying to manipulate in an evil way,
Right.
But it's just all right. Well, you don't want to do that. Do this, that, and that. And in each one of them situations, I can force feed a little bit of nutrition in them. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the key to being a parent.
Right.
Oh, word, you don't want to go to school? All right, so what you going to do? You can either do this, that, and the third. Now, if they come up with, well, I don't want to do any of those, I want to do that. And it's creative, I'm all for it. Because you just use their brain. You really know you want to do something. You're focused on something.
It's a win-win.
Yeah. So at 11, just remember yourself.
Yeah,
Like,
I
remember
know.
what you
I know
was
how
going
important.
through.
Like I, the realization of that is like, okay, yeah, man, 11. That's that age, man, when you really start coming into yourself. You know what I mean? Like you start understanding, looking at the world a little differently. And I think that's why he calmed down because
he has the resources that you may not have, or not even made, that you didn't have.
Yeah.
He has.
Right.
So,
but that's like I said, that's the same age that I stopped snapping out in school.
Right.
That was no longer relevant. You know what I mean? Snapping out was like, okay.
Right.
I'm over that phase. I'm looking at the world a little bit different now.
And it's a process. Like, so when you ask the question about the 70s babies going into the 80s, it's a certain energy that just goes into everybody. So when I look at the youngins now, everything that was already in the atmosphere that they had no control over is affecting their lives. So it comes a time and a place where it's like, okay, what are we doing as the elders to change that energy? And I believe there's enough of us that are we're pouring a lot of great energy into the atmosphere, and it is hitting our youth. You feel what I'm saying? The way it needs to. And like I said again, for you to have been, I always thought you were always in, King's life. So I'm going to assume maybe around the time that we met, it's probably the beginning stages, maybe, because he was
just
second,
came back
third
home.
grade.
Yeah.
So if we're looking at that time frame, all that time that was missed, he was legit screaming for, screaming
Somebody
for
that,
help.
without a
you know
doubt,
what
yeah.
I'm saying? And you stuck to your word, to yourself, and said, all right, if it's not, I want to be in his life. If it's not going to look this way, I'm going to let it look this way. Manipulate the situation. And now
Let's not use that word.
I mean, okay, my bad.
It's just
mold
because
the situation.
Mold the situation, right.
So now that was about, he's probably in what, sixth, seventh grade now? So that's a good 4 years of consistency. And now you're at the point where you can say, you can have, I don't know if you've ever been this vulnerable with him, because, I get it, but you can.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you can even tone it down, not dumb it down, but tone it down to a point where he does get it. And it's not so much the excitement of, all right, my dad did that, I can do that, and then I can still come out of it a certain way. Nah, like, really, let's learn from this together. You dig what I'm saying?
I just talk to him, man. Like when I have him in the car, I take a little ride with him. I don't have no music on, none of that. We just talk.
Right.
I just talk, and I drop Jews on him. Every time I drop the Jews on him, excuse me, I make sure he understand what I'm saying.
Right.
Do
You understand
listen?
the words? Do you know what it means?
Do you listen?
Yeah, he be listening.
No. Do you listen?
Yeah.
Make sure you
Right.
have a good balance, because I had that problem sometimes. I'll get my son in the car after not seeing him. You all right?
Need some water?
Water?
All right, solid.
A good brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
Joking.
You all right?
Dry.
Yeah, nah, that's what happened when you got to get the sound right. You can't have air on and all these things. But it's coming. It's coming.
We apologize.
Facts.
But
Yeah, dry throat. Alcohol. I'm telling you, man.
At least he's honest.
yes.
Alcohol make you dehydrated.
Nah, facts. Big facts.
Very dehydrated.
But it's the dumbest form of excitement ever. That's why I think liquor is the dumbest shit ever. To get pissy, to put something in your body that totally is there's nothing you can get out of it, but just to
It's
be
the most
impaired.
healthiest thing out there, too.
Oh my God, it's like putting oil in your stomach.
Right.
You feel me? Like
Right.
it's just all bad. But then I say that and I smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. Figure that out. Word up.
Yeah,
But
don't smoke.
my 16-year-old, he's on this I'm busy kick. He got his little pack of homies. They moving. They ain't in the streets. They ain't doing nothing bad. You got one playing ball, trying to get to school. You got, everybody, good kids. Good kids. So it's not like I'm worried about some nonsense. But I just want to see my child. But let me get him in my car after 3 weeks of not seeing him. La 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 la. I'm giving him everything.
Right. That's why I figured it out, Corey. Stop reciting the book that you wrote while he was absent.
Listen, I can't help it. I don't know when the next time I'm gonna be able to share this precious time.
Right.
So I'm trying to give it to him all in a matter of, and I hit him too. We're talking about girls, school, money, everything in 15 minutes car ride.
So you drive the car, he drives the conversation.
No, I drive the conversation. But nah, then I learned listening. They have a voice too.
Right.
Yeah, no.
They want to be able to express themselves. A lot of times, the reason why they act out is because they feel like they don't have a voice, or they do extreme things because they feel like, they can, either one, they don't know how to communicate their feelings correctly. You all right?
Yeah.
Your face was turning red.
No, you good.
I was getting nervous. I don't know the Heimlich, and I'm not doing mouth to mouth.
No, you good.
We would have had to stomp on your chest.
That's what it did.
But that's the lesson that I learned this year, and I've been a father for 22 years now. But I'm just learning 16 years in, actually 22 years in. You gotta listen. And it's more about having a conversation opposed to giving a lecture.
But they gotta feel comfortable to talk to you too. They gotta feel comfortable to talk to you.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing, getting to feel comfortable to talk. Like that.
Especially
That's
when
the
you ain't been
barrier I'm
around
having
in a while.
now is trying to get him to be comfortable to open up. Tell me what's on your mind.
Right.
He will.
Yeah, definitely.
As time goes on, he definitely will. So we kind of, I knew this was going to happen. I actually told you this was going to happen. We're going to get into a deep one and start going. Right. I did say that. You know what I mean? But we kind of got sidetracked. Good conversation, so I'm not worried. But started hustling at 11, sniffing coke at 13. Now you start doing your bids.
Yeah.
Robbery, drugs. How much time you do all together?
Well, I mean, from juvenile to adult, 18 years together.
Whew. And you 42?
Yeah.
So 24 years on the street, 18 years locked up. Half your life. And you're not guaranteed another day.
Right.
Crazy,
Time
right?
wasted. Time you can never get back.
That's the most precious.
So how long have you been home?
This is the longest I've been home. I came home in 2008. 2018, May 2018. As long as I've ever been home.
Okay, that's 3 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or going on 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So where in the jail, the halfway house, when you got home, what was like, I'm staying home. I'm going to do everything I can, because that's really changing your mindset, changing your thinking patterns, changing everything. How did that change come about?
Well, you know, in prison, you could either make something out of it or not. Mm-hmm. So with me, I kind of got raised by. I had some thorough cats that took me under the wing in there just based off of my personality.
Okay.
Because I'm the same person in there that I am out here.
Gotcha.
Nothing changes.
Gotcha.
Nothing changes. Like, I don't go in there to be like I'm the same person. So that genuineness made old head embrace me.
Okay.
Not because they wanted something from me, but just because they wanted better for me.
Right. Love.
A young cat.
Love.
Yeah. They wanted something better for me.
Found love in jail.
Yeah, that's sad, but that's how it is. Like, I got more Jews dropped on me from older cats from Philly, Pittsburgh, braced me like than I did on the street. That know my whole family.
Right.
These dudes don't know me from a can of paint, but yeah, they willing to drop more Jews on me and show me a better way than what y'all was. And y'all know my whole family. Y'all know my mom, my dad, my grandma.
Right.
Really? So
Predators.
they begin to mold me. Huh?
They were predators.
Oh yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. They preyed on the weak, meaning you as a child. It's terrible.
Yeah. So yeah, they begin to mold me in there, man, dropping Jews on me. Someone dude used to I was young boy. He used to he ain't had no TV or nothing. He used to turn his TV off on me and throw a book off there. I was like, oh man, really? Like,
that's
yeah,
what we
read
doing.
this book.
That's an OG.
Yeah, right. And I'm like, cool. So I ain't gonna sit there and stare at the wall.
Right.
I began reading.
So when did you start to practice yoga?
Yoga, that was later on in life. Like this is like early in my first bid.
Okay.
I came home. I was only home for not that long. Went back to jail. Came home. Like I got 4 state numbers.
But when? When did you start yoga?
Yoga was later on in life. Like I'm gonna say my first long bid. I never did. Like I would go 2 years max out. Go do a 2 to 4 max out. You know what I mean? Do a 1 to 2 max out. Okay. In my last bid, I got this 4 to 8, and that was in 2009. And another old head was like, "Yo, man," he had seen me when I did the 1 to 2, and I came right back with a. He said, "Man, really?"
Right. Right.
He said, "Man, come here, walk to the yard with me." He just started giving me books like, "Read this." That's when I got introduced to African spirituality.
Okay.
And my first book he gave me was Metu Netter.
Okay.
And that book changed I'm gonna say that book changed my life, man. Reading that, because it broke down the way this dude, Rodell Hunter, the way he writes. He has the ability you can read something and you're not getting it, but then he later explains it to you. Ooh. And you go back and you're like, powerful. Oh, that's what he meant by that.
All in the same book, or
all in the same book.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
And I'm like, powerful. And I'm like, wow. So his writing method was amazing.
That's powerful.
So, I mean, then he started breaking down personality traits, and then you start reading and be like, oh, let me go back and read.
Right.
Hold on, let me pick up this horoscope book. You know what I mean? And then you start. So I'm sitting here with 3 different books off of this one book.
Right.
And it became like
fun.
It became fun. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, I became intrigued by it.
Right.
So I began reading more and more and more. Then I go back.
Change.
Yeah. Then I go back and I start reading the whole Bible all over again.
Now you're comparing, contrasting that to what, right? That's
Then I just start reading. Then I start studying, the Judaism and all that, and the tree of life, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is related to this.
Right.
I'm like, oh, so y'all all have the same concept.
Okay.
Got it. Now I'm understanding. The one thing that he teaches you is you're never gonna get better until you know yourself. You can never fix yourself if you don't know who you are.
Right.
if you don't know what your negative and positive attributes is. You know what I mean? Like you have to know that in order to be a better you. If you can't look in the mirror and do self-reflection and be your biggest critic, you're never gonna be able to change anything about yourself.
Right.
You have to be your biggest critic.
Right.
Like you have to know when you do something. Like I beat myself up when I do something more than anybody else can beat myself up because I know better.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm my biggest critic.
Right. I think it's really dope. I'm a firm believer that every decision is a blessing. You feel what I'm saying? It's just all the way how you
Learn
look at
from
it.
everything.
Are you a half
Every
glass
experience
empty
you
or
can
a
learn
half
from.
the glass half full type person? You feel what I'm saying? I'm a true believer. So although growing up you didn't get poured into, and even doing the 1 or 2, coming back and sitting in the same old heads like sit down, look.
Right. Yeah.
He that was the blessing that allowed you to really figure it out.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
And so, and even with the yoga, when you start reading the Mental Netter and African spirituality, they teach you that yoga is a healing method.
Oh, for the body.
Yeah, it
for
heals
the
you.
mind.
Yoga heals you.
Okay.
Proper breathing and
Okay.
all that, like it heals your body.
Okay.
Like, so when you start learning that, be like, okay, like people might not, they might use yoga. I don't like it. When I say I understand what yoga really does for you, like it's really a healer. So that's how I got into it because, you know, it prevented me from getting injuries in sports because my body is already
Did it help
stretched
you
and
mentally?
flexible. It helped you mentally,
Okay.
help keep you calm.
Okay.
It helps keep you from getting angry. Like
Okay.
it does that. It does a lot of things for your health. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
facts.
it has the benefits of yoga. It has many benefits.
Got you.
Unfortunately, we've come to that time to where we gotta shut it down. But I got an idea, and I'm gonna put a little pressure on you. I enjoyed the conversation,
Facts.
and I think we need to have more of them. So how about if we start going live on Facebook once a week? Me,
That's a
you,
bet.
and when we can get this guy. And we have
That's
different
a bet.
topics,
Yeah.
you know, and you can also, we can elaborate more on the yoga,
Facts.
a couple more books,
All right.
and we can do it weekly.
Okay.
So can I get that commitment from you?
Yeah, that's a bet.
Cause you in your purpose.
Yeah, I see
You're in
this.
your purpose, fam.
Y'all see this?
Yeah, that's a bet.
He has committed once a week,
Yeah, that's a bet.
and I know that handshake means
It's-
something, so that's
right.
why I did that. But again, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I appreciate being here. Thank you for having me, man.
If you ever need help with little man, you got the number.
Without a doubt.
Hit me. We can bust it up. You hear me?
Please tell my Mr. AC said what up. Please.
I definitely will.
Haven't seen King in a
We're
minute.
both willing to be a part of
Right.
his village. You feel me?
Facts.
And I expect the same from my brothers when it comes to mine, because my point will always get across the right way. But I got one for y'all this week. I was told I had to give y'all one every week, and I kind of been slacking. But this is one of my favorite ones. Your imperfections make you unique. Peace. I'll see you later.